Next up, our next speaker is Mr. Ran Bak, VP of Asia Pacific at Taboola, to talk about culture mindset in Asia, how to enter new markets. Please welcome him to the stage.
Hi, everybody. I'm not competing with lunch, so I'm in a good shape, but you're a little bit tired, I know. What we're going to do right now, we're going to talk a little bit about new culture, about new markets, how to enter into new markets. It sounds very obvious, but it's not. So after 4 years in Asia Pacific, located in Bangkok, managing the Taboola growth in Asia Pacific, I can say that I learned something, and I would love to share it with you. So let's start the journey. What is Taboola? Taboola is actually a discovery platform, and we are helping people to discover things they never knew exist. We all know those moments when you finish to read an article or to see a movie, and we are looking for the same time that you finish to read an article and you want to discover the next thing. Think about reverse Google or reverse Baidu. Baidu, Google, they all know how to show you things that you search for, things that you're looking for. Taboola is actually the opposite of it. We're telling you what you're going to discover in a second if you're going to click on something that we know for sure that's going to interest you. And that's what we're doing. Everybody knows this movie, by the way? It's an amazing movie, Lion. I highly recommend to see it. You're definitely going to want to know what happened to this boy a minute after you're going to start to see it. Sorry, but you probably have seen us before many times. The bottom of the article, you'll see something that look like this. This is all thumbnails with recommendation that recommend to the end user the best or the best interest for him, or what do we think that he wants to discover in a second. That's obviously on all kind of platforms, and it's very predictable. Does someone know which brand is that? Blue Apron? Did someone ever heard about Blue Apron? Great. Guys, this is a great example of a brand that probably 98% of this audience never heard about. And the only way you can discover about this brand and the service they are serving you is through a discovery platform. Because you don't know about this kind of service to serve you as a chef. They are delivering you the exact amount of everything you need to do, you need to have in order to make a chef kind of a dinner or lunch. And you don't know it exists, so you're never going to discover it, you're never going to search for it. The only way to have any knowledge about those stuff is through a discovery platform that will recommend you the best thing that interests you. So as well as I was a chef in my life, they hook me up and actually present me to the amazing brand and service they did. You know this? Super Bowl, advertisement of Intel. Intel is definitely not a regular technology company. They want everybody in the world to know they are doing something else, not just chips, small chips, something else. And they decided to do it through drones. This is a dance of drones that present Intel. This is the coverage of Taboola in the world. We're definitely the largest discovery platform in the world, but that shows you every dot is a person who click on a Taboola widget and would like to discover something new. You can see the coverage in each country. It's a very interesting globe. We have it in our office all the time, round the clock. Coverage of Taboola, we're talking about Asia Pacific, definitely the growth, the large or the growthest market for Taboola. We opened the Asia Pacific 4 years ago, and since then we're expanding very fast. China, we just started 8 to 10 months ago, and actually it's every day growing, and it's quite amazing journey in China. You will see in a second that I'm going to show you who invests in Taboola. That's another story. But in this slide, you can see that it's not just about the growth. It's about the languages, and we're going to talk a lot about languages in a second, about culture. So Taboola is the only discovery platform that support all kind of languages. That's in 20 seconds what's happened to Taboola. We grew very fast. In 2016, we a little bit over $50 million. We start in 2007. We just celebrate anniversary of 10 years. And actually doing very well. And what is very interesting in this slide is the people who decided, or companies who decided to invest in Taboola, which one of them is Baidu from China, Fidelity, LVMH, Yahoo Japan, that was a customer of Taboola, and then took a decision to invest. I'm going really fast because I want to talk about cultures and languages. So that's the way we look like, very native at the bottom of the article, and helping everybody to discover the content they may like. I want to say one thing for this forum. We will talk a lot about localization. Taboola, we're not doing translation to other languages. We're doing localization to other languages. So it's not just about to go to Google, translate it, and that's it. You need to understand the content you're promoting. You need to understand what the people would like to have in their language. And it's not just about translation. We definitely invest a lot in our teams. And we have, in my office in Bangkok, which is the headquarters for Asia Pacific, we have 18 different nationalities. They are all speaking different languages. They need to support the local promotion or the local content they are running, and that's the way it looks. It's a very wide team in Asia Pacific, supporting all kind of languages and cultures. As I mentioned, we definitely do some translation, but that's not what we're doing on a general purpose. We're doing localization. You need to understand the languages. For example, in Thai, you can say a word that will be 3 different meanings because of different tones. The same as in Chinese. You can use tones for the same word, so you need to understand the word. You need to understand the whole sentence in order to support the content. It can be a very bad word, and it can be a very good word. You need to take the decision what you allow, what you don't allow, and it's a very big challenge for those languages. Everybody recognize all the holidays? It's a very interesting slide. I think that we are Israelis, we are very sensitive that people will respect our religious or our holidays. On the other side, when you talk about new cultures and new markets, you need to know what's important for the other side. You need to understand the culture. Part of it is to understand the holidays. Part of it is to greet them on time. That's very crucial for the success in a lot of markets. It's not the only thing that will bring you success, but it's a very crucial thing. Many offices around the world. So we have Beijing, we have also Shanghai, we have New Delhi, São Paulo, Bangkok, Tel Aviv, London, LA, and New York. This is just the touch of it. We do also have in Germany, we have in France. So we are covering almost the whole world with a lot of languages. We are working through hubs in headquarters in many, many places, and that's the way we support everybody. We need to mind the gap. Guys, there is a big gap, especially for Israelis. I'm saying it as an Israeli. You need to understand, even though a lot of people are talking about this startup nation, and we invent a lot of things, we're great in a lot of technologies, we need to understand the other side. We need to understand what they are looking for and what is actually make interest for them.
Left you out, Jack. Paradise. Who is it?
It's Jerry!
Jerry!
Surprise!
What is this?
No, I felt bad about this afternoon, so I got you something.
Oh, you did? Do you guys all know Jerry? Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Winona. Nice to see you again.
Elaine, is it your birthday?
No.
Oh, I don't need a reason to give gifts. It's my nature. I love to make people happy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ta-da! It's a cigar store Indian. Here's the card.
That's very nice. Thank you very much.
Read it out loud.
I don't think so.
We had a little fight this afternoon. Let's bury the hatchet. We smoke 'em peace pie.
You know, it's late. I really should go. I don't blame you, Winona. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, it's kitschy.
Winona is a Native American.
She is? Winona, it's Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah?
Listen, I really felt bad about what happened.
I'd really like to apologize. Can I come up?
I'll come down.
I came by to get my ball.
It's right over there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's got the magic grip. How do you think I bowled that 220 today, huh? Yo! Where did this come from?
Do you want it?
I can have this?
Yeah. You want to lug it uptown? It's yours.
Oh, I'll lug.
It's just that it's a very sensitive issue for me.
And well, it should be. I think if you spent any time with me at all, you see, I'm very sensitive to these matters as well. You wouldn't be hungry by any chance, would you?
I guess I could go for a bite.
You like Chinese food? Because I once went to a great Szechuan restaurant in this neighborhood. I don't remember the exact address. Excuse me, you must know where the Chinese restaurant is around here.
Why must I know? Because I'm Chinese? You think I know where all the Chinese restaurants are? Oh, that's all about Chinaman for rotational restaurants.
I have to because you're the mailman. You would know the neighborhood.
Oh, hello, American Joe. Which way to Hamburger hot dog stand?
It's late. I should probably just go home.
I had no idea. Hey, Jerry! Look what I got!
Probably Jerry not going to do a lot of business in China or somewhere else. Let's talk really fast on the barrier in the language and the culture that we are facing. One of the things that a lot of people are falling with or making a huge mistake is that they are trying to talk English with the other side. Are we talking the same English? Do you think that every Korean you're going to meet going to talk the same level of English with you? It's very obvious for us that they need to understand English. Our emails in English, our communication in English, but they don't. So please check before you're talking with people what the language they are speaking and come prepared. Our customers, do they know, do we understand their culture? Do we understand if they are happy or they are sad? Doesn't it matter actually if they're happy or sad? If you want to do a negotiation and the other side is not in a good mood, do you know to recognize it? It's not that obvious. Japanese, Chinese are totally different culture and they behave differently. They are coming in a different clothes. They are coming in a different mood to every meeting. You need to understand your audience. I'm not going to talk a lot about shepherd, but there is a big difference between shepherd and rice farmers, what we call. If someone never heard this story, so I'm just going to say it in 30 seconds. The idea behind Asian culture is that everything has to be perfect. Why it has to be perfect? Because they were rice farmers. They raised rice for the whole village. If they didn't do the setting in a perfect way, the water left and there is no rice ready for the village to eat. So the idea is that everything has to be perfect. This is against the startup culture. In Israel, all the startups will tell you that the number one thing they want to have are mistakes. We are learning from mistakes. We are doing mistakes because that's the only way we can proceed. That's the only way we can step forward. This is totally against the Asian culture. They don't know what to do with mistakes. When you're talking with Japanese, if you're going to talk with them that you're for example, dashboard doesn't show perfect numbers, they're going to go nuts. They're not going to accept it. They don't know even what to do with you. So you need to understand the rice farmer is a very crucial thing in order to make a success. I'm just going to go very fast. We need to understand the pace of doing business. To do business in Thailand, to do business in Vietnam, and to do business in Australia is not the same pace. People doesn't think the same pace. They don't have the same idea of the rhythm of life like you, and you need to be very aware of it. They're pushing me a lot with the time, so I will run to the interesting stuff. Let me go over. Do everybody know what does that mean in each country? In the US, UK, that's okay. In France, it's perfect. In Japan, it means money. And in Brazil, it's actually insulting people. So be aware of things that you're doing, and it's not the only example. I just gave you one example to understand the topic. What does that mean, football, for English speaker? If you're in the US, that's what football means for you. If you're in Europe, that's what football means for you. What does that mean? That's yes or no? In India, that's a yes. In the other part of the world, is no, is absolutely no. I remember the first time I sat with someone in India, and the whole meeting he did like this, and I couldn't understand why he disagreed with me. Everything I said, yes, you can do it. Yeah, we're going to pay you more. We're going to give you everything. Yes. I'm just jumping because of time. People in different countries have different ways to interrupt events. They have different habits, values, and ways of relating to one another. People tend to view their cultural practices right, while others as wrong or peculiar. Understanding others and not having others misunderstanding, you create mutual benefits and prevent conflicts. Super, super important. You want to prevent conflict. That's part of your business. You know, sometimes we are saying, when people are saying no to you in some countries, what do they mean? Do they mean no, or do they mean yes? Do they mean maybe? You need to understand the culture in order to answer this question. Really fast. When Israelis say, why don't you do it differently, what do they mean? They mean, I'm giving you a helpful suggestion. Brazilian will hear, your work is really bad, I don't like you. And Chinese might hear, we need to think about plan B. Here you see, he just said yes. When Israelis say you are wrong, what do they mean? They mean, I disagree with your point of view and want to discuss it so we can reach an agreement. Americans might hear, there is no room for discussion, better back off. Chinese might hear, how is that any of your business? When Americans say, I would appreciate if you could get this to me by Thursday, they mean the drop-dead deadline for this is Thursday. For Koreans, they hear, you better give it to me at Wednesday the latest. And for Chinese, just give me some time. You know, it's funny, a lot of Chinese here in the front line are laughing, but that's the difference by the culture. It's nothing about right or wrong. It's about understanding the other side. When American says we may have some challenges, they mean there are problems here that must be solved. Israelis might hear, great, finally things are getting interesting, challenge is good. And Chinese, we have problems? They can't believe. Some key takeaways, and with that I will end. When someone from a different culture than yours contacts you, try to be open and understand that there might be cultural gaps that make communication harder. Try to understand the other side. By the way, I highly recommend to take some courses about the other side. Think of the things that you don't know about the other side. Discover all the things that you want to know about the other side. If you are conducting business in a territory that is new to you, seek local advice prior to your first interaction. Don't try to invent the wheel. Don't try to discover everything by yourself. Use other people's experience. Thank you very much all.